Paul, put away the phone. Let's get this going.
I'm tweeting. I have to check in. I have to check in. I have to tweet. What is it?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups in St. Louis.
Pretty cool.
If you are on Twitter, please use the hashtag #Pound1MCSTL and #1MC. #1MC will get it to the entire 1 Million Cups organization and #1MCSTL. Thank you very much. We are the St. Louis chapter of 1 Million Cups. We were the 4th chapter, and how many years ago was that founded? Was it founded here?
3.5.
3.5 years ago. There are now over 100 chapters throughout the country who all present relatively the same time, drinking coffee, the same concept of helping entrepreneurs. 1 Million Cups is founded by Coffin Foundation. Please download the app and sign in. For those that are interested, my phone is coming tomorrow, so I'll actually be able to download the app. I know it's a big deal for the 1 Million Cups community. Sorry. And but if you could hear, so we can get attendance, we would appreciate if you could do that, please. There you go. Don't forget to check in.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Coffin Foundation.
Over the years, we've added more cities, creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable.
Everything we did from people that have ideas too, it helps people to literally, you know what, my idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after. Even if it looks like a challenge, I can still go out and try to do it.
So like I said, founded by the Coffin Foundation for Entrepreneurship. The story is that the Coffin Foundation was having people come up and give lectures, and they realized what's more important is the dialogue. And so, how about having one cup of coffee? How about having 1 million cups of coffee instead? So thank you, T-Rex. We've been here since September.
September?
Yeah, since September. Provide the facilities, the coffee. So thank you very much. It's been a wonderful partnership so far. Once again, repeating the slide. Okay, so today we have from SIUE, we have the Mass Media Communications. This is their capstone project. They actually have a viable company. It's not just a project. And so all 6 of these people sitting up here is going to be presenting. And so I'll let you guys take it away. Sure.
All right, good morning. Thank you for having us today. It's an absolute honor to be here. We've heard a lot about T-Rex. We've worked very hard. This is a project that we've been working on this semester, but the idea has been kind of floating around for a little over a year now. So, like I said, we are Endless Bliss, and my name is David Gallagher.
I'm Haley Book. I'm Ebony Knowles. I'm Shelby Twanwish. My name's Amanda Yeager. And I'm Tessa Anston.
Okay, so why are we standing in front of you today? The wedding market. The wedding market is a gigantic industry. It's everywhere. It's in all states, all over the world. It is a $54.3 billion industry, and we are trying to find a way where we can tap into that, do something different, and create a new website that helps people plan weddings. The average cost of a St. Louis wedding is $33,720, so we're trying to get a portion of that. Through our research, we found that 89% of couples are now going online to plan different portions of their wedding. So research, contacting vendors, going through their wedding registry is all either done on a mobile app or online now. And the average length of an engagement is 14 and a half months, so that gives us our time to work. That is our time to spend with the client, help them plan the wedding and take the stress out of it. And we actually hope to lower that time by making the wedding planning process a little bit easier. So where does the problem come in? People get married all the time. Where do we fit in? Wedding planning can be extremely stressful. Other than myself, every couple that I've talked to that's engaged or has been married tells me how stressful their wedding planning process was. Not how great the day was, or how beautiful the bride looked, or how great the food tasted. It was what a pain it was to find the right vendors that they could trust, that they could afford, that fit their date. So I started thinking, man, I would heard there's a way that we can make that easier, a little more simple. So So Haley's going to tell you a little bit more about our solution to that problem.
Once again, my name is Haley, and pictured above is my husband and I on our wedding day. As you can tell, I recently got married, and some of the things that I ran into were not having the convenience of all of my vendors in one specific area. And what Endless Bliss does is it offers just that. It offers all of the top 10 vendors that we have chosen based on a rating system and under one click of a mouse. And it also instills confidence in our couples to not feel so stressed out and not have that feeling of being overwhelmed while planning their wedding. One of our key features in Endless Bliss is our calendar. And what that calendar does is it offers couples to put in the date of their wedding and show the vendors that are available for that day and gives them the chance to pick and choose from the ones that become available to them.
So our website is beneficial for customers because we are giving couples everything they need in order to plan a wedding. Like David said, the average amount of time it is to be engaged and plan a wedding is around 14 months. So our goal is to make that process a lot easier and to possibly speed it up. It is also valuable to vendors because we are giving vendors our customers. We are providing them with new clients that could potentially increase their sales. So it is also beneficial for investors because there is a lot of potential for growth in this market. In 2015, there were 6,000 weddings in the Metro East area alone, each wedding averaging around $33,000.
Okay, so this is a prototype of our website, Endless Bliss. We based the design of this website from testing potential users, and we want it to be a convenient one-stop shop for anyone wanting to plan their own wedding. So as you can see in the navigational bar that we have at the top, it has all the different vendor options that we chose to partner with. Once you click one of the vendor options, which we have pulled up, is photographers. You will be able to see all the different photographers we have available. And then under each photographer, we'll have an example of each of their previous work, a rating scale of 1 to 5 stars, and this photographer got 4 stars, a price scale of 1 to $4 signs, this photographer having $2 signs. And then our favorite feature is the calendar that Haley talked about, where you can click and choose the date and see what vendors are available for the dates that you need. So to be able to actually book through us, once the user is satisfied, they will create a username and then pay the initial $4.99 fee one time, and then have access to all of the vendor options that we have available.
All right, so the question everybody's been asking or wondering is, how is this going to make money? Our first stream of revenue is going to come from a one-time payment of $4.99. When a client first logs into our website, they get automatic access to our categories. But in order to get access to the actual vendors and to be able to book through us, they need to pay the one-time fee of $4.99. Now, we plan on making most of our money from actually booking the vendors. So our second stream of revenue is coming from partnering with vendors. So we bring them new clients from the Metro East, and in return, we get a 10% finder's fee. So if the average wedding in St. Louis costs a little over $33,000, our 10% finder's fee will give us $3,300. So our goal is to plan 100 weddings per year. If we plan 100 weddings per year, that gives us a $330,000 profit per year. We are asking from you about $50,000 in order to supplement initial costs and web development.
Okay, and lastly, our needs. Some of the advice that we can take from you would be how to gain those community partnerships, finding the vendors that want to partner with us, make their name a little bit bigger and spread their name. The legal advice, so if a photographer were to not show up, how that would fall back on the photographer rather than Endless Bliss. Our web development, someone that's not going to cost like an arm and a leg to build our website for us. And lastly, it would be programs willing to fund our kind of thing. Obviously, we're really poor college students, so we don't have that much money to put into this. So finding things like Prosper St. Louis, which is a female-based program that's willing to fund. So that is all for our presentation. We want to thank you again for your time, and we would love any questions and feedback you have.
Okay, thank you very much.
said based on potential customer feedback, how did you do your customer interviews? How many customers did you interview?
I'll take that. Through the course of the semester, we were all tasked with taking different parts of the website and talking to a minimum of 10 people based on different A/B testing on each one of our pages. So for instance, Amanda talked to people about entertainment. Do they prefer DJs? Do they prefer plans? How does the look of the site help them navigate? I know Ebony did a lot of research on what things people are most interested in a wedding site, and reviews was the number one thing we got back from almost everybody, is they want to know that they are working with reputable people. Price, of course, or cost being the second. So we did, it was a minimum of 10 tests per people, and did it multiple times through the semester to get to this particular point.
Thanks for the presentation. Quick level set question for me, and then my follow-up. What stage are you at now? Pre-launch, beta, alpha?
We are in the very infancy of this. We basically have a WordPress website that we kind of laid out a mock-up of our site. Our next step is going to be finding a couple that we can kind of be a concierge service to, so they can really be our main test. So,
thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
And then I guess the question I would have next would be, when you said $4.99, is that $499? $4.99?
no, yeah, $4.99.
Okay. So what can you kind of explain why you're charging a potential user to create, because that'll create friction in the sign-up process when you identified most of your income will come from the percentage book. So to me, I could be way off here, so I was just asking for your thinking on that.
Yeah, that actually came from more testing that we did, and that cost is very flexible. We had presented to a few other potential investors in the St. Louis area that came to our class, and they're like, "We love your idea, you're not charging enough." They're like, "When I planned my wedding, I spent $20,000. If somebody told me that I could plan that and have all that information at my fingertips for $5, I would definitely shell out that $5 fee."
So you're using that as a pre-qualifying, basically,
right? So
for your user base. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can come to our website, you can check it out, like Amanda said, and see all the vendors that we have. But to really be able to book through us and get more information is where the fee comes in.
Great, thanks.
I'm going to take the next question. Next question I had is, how are you planning on expanding your vendor base? That's really, you got to have a product, not just here, but across the country, across the world. I guess that's your ambition, it's worldwide. So answer that question, then I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head for what our challenge is. So we're starting to focus very specifically on the Metro East market. Through our research, we found that people are not willing to sift through any more than 10 vendors. So we have talked about planning with Upstart Wedding Planner. We're just reaching out to somebody in the wedding industry to meet with these vendors, find out who is reputable, and list the best 10 there. So really, the wedding industry is really based on relationships, so having that connection can really help. And I think you can talk a little bit more about this, Haley, but was it your flower person that you worked with, planned your wedding, developed a great relationship, and
So for my wedding, the lady who actually did my flowers pretty much became my wedding planner, and she did a lot of, she had so many connections, and it was based on word of mouth for me, since I didn't have something like this. So that helped me a lot while planning, and I just kind of told her what I wanted, and she kind of took off with it. So that's what we're kind of hoping to do, or to find someone like that, someone by word of mouth who isn't necessarily a huge wedding planner per se, but someone that can just get us started, get us on our feet, things like that.
And my follow-up question was going to be on the exact opposite side of that. Have you thought about charging wedding planners and wedding coordinators? Because you're charging. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, if you're just a regular user, you go on there, it makes sense. But if you're a wedding planner and you can save them hundreds of hours, you're giving them a great service. And so maybe that's another source of revenue for you, is to partner with them, give them a monthly or a yearly fee or something like that. It just seems like another source of revenue, another way to gain more clients, quite frankly.
Yeah, like our pie in the sky idea is to absolutely be that to multiple people. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg question. Like we want to have a following so we can show our value to the wedding planners and the vendors. But I agree 100%. Like that's a future goal that we have, absolutely.
From the perspective of the vendors, from the calendar feature, do they have to manually opt in and block those calendar dates out, or how do you plan on, will they have to have it basically integrated with their system, or will they have to kind of log into your system and say, okay, June 21st, I'm booked, I'm not available?
Yeah, we were going to actually have one of the team members be responsible solely for that part of the project. So there would be, I don't want to say middleman because that gives you like the wrong idea, but the person that's responsible for contacting the vendors, the relationship person. I love your idea. Actually sparked an idea though. It would be much easier if the vendors could go just log in and block out a date rather than us have to facilitate that. I think there'd be a lot less confusion. So I think it'd be a great way to handle that.
Other questions?
So I have a little bit of background in the wedding industry, and this is maybe just more a statement in terms of how you want to market yourself going forward. But websites like The Knot and Style Me Pretty, a lot of them have found, especially for local vendors, they're not doing any business because people will look on there, see ideas that they like, whether it's for flowers, table settings, and then find a local vendor that does the same thing. Sometimes it's budget or whatnot, and so I think in some ways that you're unique to the Metro East, and so if someone knows that's where their wedding is, that makes you different rather than taking it to other cities. That might be a competitive advantage out there.
Yeah, like, I agree completely. We are trying to do two things separately. Like, one is our value to the customer is going to come if you can plan it yourself, but if you book through us because we have this relationship with the vendor, we can offer you a discount or we can give you a small kickback on the price. So your costs are lower that way. And then the other thing is we really, like you said, want to limit, we're trying to be smaller than everybody else because The Knot we researched, you type in wedding venues near St. Louis and The Knot, you get 800 options. Everybody was like 8 to 10, that's all I can handle, I'm not being any more than that. So we're trying to focus, like you said, narrow the focus, absolutely.
And there's also a lot of vendors that think they have small budgets for that kind of thing, and they think that being on The Knot and these major websites is the way to spend that money, and they really don't have any return on that investment. So even if it costs them a little bit more, they might actually get more business from investing in a local company.
That's encouraging, thank you.
I have a quick question about the company structure. So my understanding, this is a capstone class project, and we tell us a little bit about, are you guys all going to be the co-founder of this company, or I mean, who will drop out, or all of you guys were going to keep going to do this project and make this project become a real company?
Yeah, this is actually my second semester, so I've been working on this project for an entire year. So for me, it started as an idea, and we've really tried to work out the kinks and get it done as much as possible. So for me, this is not a school project. This is something that once school's over and I have more time to focus on it, I absolutely would love to pursue this and get to work with weddings. So, yeah, it's fun. I don't know how anybody else feels.
I was a little bit confused about the operating costs and then the profit model. So what is your operating cost right off the bat once you guys are profitable?
So our big picture is that we are our big picture is that we're a $1 million company. So what we're asking from investors is 5% of that, so $50,000. So right off the bat, if we're considering that we need operating costs for web development to make it look pretty, to make it more easier access to consumers, to clients, and hopefully if we can partner with a up-and-coming wedding planner in the industry and percentage of our income. We're hoping to make probably a little less than $300,000 a year.
So not to get too technical, but do you guys have like kind of like what it is to just kind of like keep the doors open type of,
Right.
and then like how would you, is the $5 and the 10%, that's all for profit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So right now we're working through WordPress, which is a free online website design. So, and all the research behind the vendors is through us right now. It's through word of mouth, our connections, our networks, and then meeting with the vendors and making sure they're reputable, meeting with, reading the reviews behind them. So right now we're at a very low initial cost that we have to put forth. The $50,000 is more to take it to the next level. So right now we have not had to put anything towards it between the free website design and doing all the vetting from the venues ourselves. We just hope to take it to the next level with that $50,000. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yep.
All right, any more questions? All right, well, you always have, one thing I want to follow up with what Jane said, that you guys do kind of need to understand your quote-unquote corporate structure. You guys need to figure out what's your strength. I mean, you kind of could be in trouble of too many cooks in the kitchen, and kind of need someone like, this is your area, and they need to be responsible for it. This is your area, you need to be responsible for it. And, you know, one or two people to kind of crack skulls. And it's kind of the way, there's a reason why, corporate structures exist the way they do to some extent. But the final question, which we always ask is, you touched upon it, but what can the community do for you? What are your most pressing needs right now besides money?
So yeah, we really just talked about mainly our website development and getting that out there. Also the partnership, so finding the vendors that really want to be part of that and want to put their name out there a little more, just so that we can grow with that and they know that we're a startup. So wanting to someone trying something new, having their name on that new thing too.
And the other piece of that is we would love any potential legal advice, because working with vendors and weddings, if somebody
were to not follow through, even though we vetted the vendors, we would want the vendor to then be responsible, but yeah, just connections.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.